the, let's see, the lighting and the camera. Okay, can you see me? Yes, you can. Mostly, I think. Okay. All right, so again, I'm Kat, and today I'm going to be reading a story that Kevin wrote, and you can find on his, what is it, Hair Story webpage. I will put the link below after the video has been posted to YouTube because I don't know it offhand. Otherwise, if you look at the last YouTube live, I read a story that Kevin wrote, and I do have a link there to all of his wonderful stories. So I say definitely check those out. I'm gonna bring this camera up a little bit here. And I was just thinking I probably should get a new tripod. So I will be doing that. Yay, wonderful. And happy Memorial Day weekend for those who are celebrating it. It's a holiday in the US. All right, so I guess we'll get started. I won't try to keep you too long today just because it is a holiday weekend. All right, so this story is called Connie's Cut. And again, it's by Kevin, and I'll post his link soon. And it'll be in the video description. And I'm sure down below too. All right, so hello, Michael Jordan. He says, hello, Kat, beautiful outfit. Please don't forget to put your collar up, popped collar, and showing a loose tie, top button undone. I will do that near the end. I received a Patreon member asked me to wear this outfit, which I will show it off here. So I wear whatever my Patreon members tell me. So this is my outfit for today. Let's see if I can do this. And then, whoops! I forgot to put the barber chair back up. I had some photos taken. And these heels. So no boots today, but definitely heels. And yeah, I couldn't find my stockings, my thigh highs. So these will have to do. All right, let's see. And I have not pre-read this story. I was out with friends last night. I had a party. Hello, Marcelo. Thank you for joining. Hello, Sathya. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. If not, I apologize. They say love from India. Thank you, sweetie. Good morning, Jim. And all right. So we'll get started. All right. Hi. My name is Connie, and I've always been a bit particular about my hair. I don't ever put color in it. I don't layer it. And I never cut off more than an inch at a time. My hair is light brown, and it hangs down to my bra strap. Hey, you're gonna have to put some imagination in this. Until today, I've always gone to the same place to have it washed, trimmed, and dried. I walked from my apartment to the salon this morning for my 9 a.m. appointment, just like usual, same old, same old. But Jenny, the girl oh, try that again. But Jenny, the girl who usually does my hair, is sick. They said that my appointment was too early for them to give me Okay, they said my appointment was too early for them to give me a notification. I understood this because the salon is only open from 9 to 5, and I'm always 5 minutes early to my appointments. They lost my business when the reception did not want to rebook me with Jenny, but rather let Jen cut it instead. I have nothing against him personally, but I would not ever let him near my hair again because I've seen him cut off more hair in girls in his chair so he's cut off more hair with the girls in his chair than they desired. And this happened on multiple occasions. And he had even told me that he would like me to try a shorter style. Can you believe that? After a few minutes of heated debate with the receptionist, I stormed out the door and began walking down the sidewalk. I don't even know how far I actually went or how long I was actually even walking. But my feet started to hurt. But when my feet started to hurt, I found a sidewalk bench and I sat down. While I was sitting on the bench, I had noticed, that I had walked all the way to a oh my goodness. Let me try that one more time. While sitting on the bench, I noticed that I had walked all the way to a Chinatown district within the city. It was a very hot day, so I was sweating, and if my hair hadn't been tied up before my appointment, it would have been a tangled mess. I saw a window across the street. It had a lot of Asian lettering that I, of course, did not recognize. But it also had these letters, D and S Salon. As well as a silver pair of scissors painted onto the window. I thought that maybe this was some sort of fate, and that D and S was probably the names of the owners. Because I did not stop at this bench for any particular reason, I decided to check this place out and see if there was a person there who might be a good stylist. I got up, walked across the street, and went through the door. The inside of the salon was not what I expected. The room inside the door was just a waiting room with simple padded armchairs that were black with silver studs, and the walls were black as well. The ground looked like black marble tiles. There was no desk or other sign of life in this room. But there was a button on the wall to the left next to the door that said "Push for Service." There was also another door on the far side of the room that had an Asian symbol painted onto it as well, and also a keypad with the usual 1 through 0 digits. I nervously walked to the button and pressed it. I heard a chime or a bell on the other side, but there was no other sound. It was pleasantly cool in the waiting room, so I decided to sit in one of those chairs for a few minutes to cool off before deciding to go home. Let's see. After sitting in a chair for the few minutes, I heard heels clicking on tile, and then the door opened. A middle-aged Asian woman walked through the door. Her appearance was a bit shocking because she was dressed in silver high heels, a black dress that looked like it was made out of latex or PVC, and that went down below her knees, and it covered her chest in a V pattern that went both over her shoulders and showed her cleavage. And an odd necklace that was more like a wire cage covered her neck. Her hair was held back in a tight bun and had solid black sticks stuck into it. There was not a hair out of place, including her neck. Which usually when women would put up their hair in these buns, it would have all that messy hair, but not her. Her makeup was very bright with blue eyeshadow that complemented her eyes and very dark red lips. "Hello there," she said briskly. I am Miko, and this is my salon. What can we do for you today? I was still a bit blunted, and my throat was very dry. So the sound that came from my mouth when I tried to answer was very meek. Speak up. Tell me what you want, said Amiko. I don't have all day to stand here chatting with you, because I do have other appointments later. This woman was so brisk. It was both intimidating and intriguing at the same time. Hi, I said. I'm Connie. And I was hoping for just a quick trim. You will pay before we begin. Do you want to continue? Yes, I said meekly, because this woman intrigued me so much, and I wanted to try her having me, let me try that again. Yes, I meekly replied, because this woman intrigued me so much. So I thought, maybe I will have her try to trim my hair, even though this is probably more than what my old salon charged. How do you wish to pay? I accept cash or credit cards, but no checks, said Amiko. I didn't say anything, but rather gave her my credit card. Very good. Now wait here while I complete your transaction, said Amiko, as she took my card and went into the room that she had walked out originally. I realized that I hadn't even moved from the chair I was sitting in, and my heart was racing, even though I hadn't moved. I continued to sit for a few more minutes when I heard Amiko walk back into the room with a silver pad in her hand. She didn't even say anything, but just walked to me and handed it to me. The pad had my credit card, a pen, a receipt, which required a signature, and another piece of paper that had a lot printed on it. I picked up the pen and signed the dotted line on the receipt, put my credit card back in my purse, and handed it back. Thank you, but the waiver needs to be signed too, said Amiko. That's just the waiver that says you walked in and asked for our services. I signed the line at the bottom of the page and dated it. She took it back, too, as she walked back into the room again. She emerged a few seconds later and walked towards the other door on the far side of the wall where I was sitting. Come on now, she said as she typed a code into the pad. I stood up and walked over where she was standing as she opened the door, revealing a hallway that was dimly lit. Last door, she said, as she indicated the hallway with her hand while holding the door open with the other. There were several doors on the right side of the hallway, as well as one door at the end of the hall. And I walked down that hall to the last door, opened it, and walked in. The room was relatively small, but it felt spacious enough, especially for a single salon room. The room was very much in the black theme that the salon seemed to have. The walls were still painted black, and the black tile continued. There was a large barber chair that was black leather with chrome metal rails on the armrest, footrest, lever on the side of the chair. There was a counter behind the chair that was also black, and it looked like it had a sink in it as well. I didn't know what to think because I was almost too terrified to enter because it looked very imposing. Hurry in there and sit down, Amiko said. I jumped a little and hurriedly walked into the room and gingerly sat in the barber chair. Amiko stood in the doorway and said, Stay still. Now someone will soon be in to make you more comfortable. She closed the door and I heard what sounded like a knock on the door at the other end of the hall, and then hushed whispers in a language that I did not know. I could do hardly anything but sit and stare at the floor. After a moment, the door opened and 2 girls walked in. These girls looked like they could have been twins, but each of them was dressed in a small black dress robes that went from the base of their necks to their mid-thigh with no shoes on their feet. Their hair was very short, ending at their chins in front and angling up towards the back. "Hi," said the one on the left. "We'll make you comfy now," said the one on the right with a slight smile on her face. They didn't say anything else as they walked over to me and went behind the chair. After a few seconds of hearing foreign whispering between the 2 of them, a black leather strap was passed over my chest around to the back of the chair. "What the?" I said as I started to move my hands to put the strap back over my head. But I felt a pair of hands grab my wrists and quickly move them to the armrests. The girls both instantly pinned my arms down and pulled up the thick leather cuffs and fastened them tightly around my wrists so that there was no chance of being able to move my hands. Then one of the girls managed to catch my feet as they kicked at the air, and they pinned them both against the footrest, and the other fastened a thick leather cuff around each of my ankles. Another belt was fastened around my thighs and another at my waist. "Hey!" I screamed as the door shut behind them. "Let me out of here!" But they were gone, and there was no reply. I struggled with the straps, but there was no use. I couldn't move anything. There was no sound other than me struggling for the next few minutes until I heard the sound of footsteps against the tile. The door was opened by Amiko, who stood in the doorway for a few seconds with a snake-like smile on her face. "Amiko," I said, "you have to let me out of here. This is really creepy." She didn't say anything, but rather just walked behind me to the counter. "Well," she said, "you signed my waiver, and you've paid for my services. You're going to get what you paid for." I heard her heels against the floor again as she walked back in front of me with something small in her hands. "Open up," she said, as she put her left hand on my chin and pulled my mouth open. She pushed the object into my mouth. "Don't worry, it's very clean," she said. It felt kind of big for my mouth, and there was a small tube that went out of my mouth from the object. She held her right hand over my mouth to keep the object there while she brought the tube to her lips and blew. The object in my mouth began to swell until it was The object in my mouth began to swell until it forced my mouth to open and fill all of the space. I could hardly make any noise with this thing in my mouth, and Amiko pinched the tube right near my lips and pulled the tube part right outside my lips and put a cap over it. "Now, that's better. It's much simpler with someone once they have my inflatable gag in their mouth." Amiko walked behind the chair again, and I heard the sounds of a drawer opening and closing. I didn't know what to do or what to think as I felt a towel being wrapped around my neck from the back. Then Amiko walked back in front of me with a big piece of folded material that looked to be the same material as the dress that she's wearing in her hands. She quickly pulled her hands apart, letting the cape unfold. She leaned forward, pushing the cape over me. Let me see if I can do that again. She leaned forward, pushing or pulling the cape over me, all in front of me until I felt it against my neck and felt it hanging down behind her. She walked behind me again and pulled the two ends of it together and pulled it very tightly in the back and snapped it together with 3 clicks. I felt trapped under the heavy latex material that took away my form completely in the chair. The cape rustled again as she pulled the cape from behind the lever on the right side of the chair. "Now, let's go ahead and get started," she said as she undid my bun. I felt my brown locks come undone in her hands and fall down the back of the chair. I felt her nails against the back of my head as she began to stroke through her hair with her fingers. She continued to do this for a short while she kept saying how beautiful she thought my hair was. I felt my eyes begin to water as I didn't want her to do anything to my hair, but I knew that I was helpless to move or to stop her from doing whatever she wished. She turned the lever on the side of the chair so that the handle aimed away from the chair instead of towards my feet. I felt myself begin to rotate towards the counter and saw myself in front of a big mirror, but it seemed so odd, seeing nothing by my head and hair above a sea of black latex. Let's see. That was the cape around my neck. After several more strokes with her fingers, she pulled all of my hair together in the back and put it together in a ponytail. She fastened it tightly with a band several inches from the back of my head, and she walked back to the counter and picked up a very large pair of shears and returned beside me. She smiled again in the mirror as she began opening and closing the blades slowly. She then put them near my ears and closed them sharply, which made me shiver up and down my spine. "Here we go," she said, drawing out the last syllable in a seductive manner. Amiko turned the chair back around so it was no longer facing the mirror. She pulled up the ponytail in her hand and put the open scissors beneath it. She smiled again as she began to manipulate the blades open and shut. I heard my hair scrunching and felt the hands begin to fall from the ponytail from around my face, about an inch above my shoulders. She continued shearing away until all of the hair had been cut and my ponytail was hanging from her hand. She held out the severed hair in front of me and shook it in and out so that some of the strands were brushing against my face. She pulled the lever from the side away from the chair and pulled it backwards until my neck was just sitting at the edge of the sink. She then turned on the water faucet and held her hands under the water stream for a few moments before she began to spray the water into the rest of my hair. She worked the faucet around my hair with a very gentle touch and even used her hands to keep the water out of my ears. She then moved her hands back into a cabinet under the sink for a moment before bringing them back to my head and began lathering my hair with shampoo for several moments. The head massage felt extremely good, and I actually started to forget that this woman had just sheared off my beautiful hair. After a few moments of rubbing my scalp, she rinsed out the shampoo and got a handful of conditioner and began to rub it through my hair. Her hands were very gentle, and I think I was beginning to fall asleep, with my head in this sink because this was one of the best washes I've ever had. After rinsing out the conditioner, she roughly toweled what was left of my hair and lead me back up. She pumped the handle several more times, and I felt myself jerk upwards with each stroke of the lever. She began to comb through my hair before saying anything. Oh, one second. Check that one again. She began to comb through my hair before saying anything. She combed out a lock at my right temple, grabbed it with her fingers, and then with a quick snip, 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 I felt the hair being cut. I could feel, based on how close her fingers were to my scalp, that she was scissoring my hair very short. She quickly pulled up the next lock and snipped it right off. She continued snipping through my locks around the back of my head and behind me before finishing off at the left temple. Once she cut the last locks there, I expected her to start snipping away. Excuse me. Let's see. Okay. So once she cut the last locks there, I expected her to start snipping away at the top of my head, but she didn't. I heard her place the comb and scissors back onto the counter before picking up something else. After I heard a click, there was a very loud whirling, which turned out to be a hairdryer. She quickly dried my hair. We can't have wet hair now, can we, my dear? But now since it's dry, we can start your final cut. I didn't understand what she meant by that, because she's already cut off so much of my hair already. I heard some more rummaging on the counter behind me. Amiko firmly grabbed the top of my head with her left hand and bent it forward towards my left shoulder after turning on a device in her right hand. The device started up with an unfamiliar sound that I did not recognize. Oh, one second. that's Amiko. Okay. I love the sound of the clippers, said Amiko, as she began to push them up the right side of my head. I felt more locks of my hair begin to fall down the cape with each stroke of the clippers. Amiko pulled the hair on the top of my head forward, so that I was looking down as she clippered the back of my head and sent even more locks falling down. The strands of my light brown hair looked foreign against the black cape, and I saw drops of tears fall on the hair on the cape. She pushed them, she pushed the clippers. Wait, one second. Okay, she pushed my head towards the right shoulder and finished clippering the hair on that side too. After she turned off the clippers, she grabbed a smaller set and fired them up. They made a different sound that was more of a buzz than a whir. She began flicking them around the edges of my hairline in an odd motion. If you keep still, I'm not going to shave your hair off. I'm just tapering your edges so it's smoother, said Amiko, as she continued around my hairline all the way on the left side. After she powered down the clippers, she began spraying the top of my hair with a squirt bottle. My hair felt much longer than I thought. The hair felt much longer than I thought when she ran her fingers through it, so that they would all, let's see. My hair felt much longer than I thought it would have as she ran her fingers through it, so that all of the hair would be equally wet. After she finished, she combed it forwards until it eventually was hanging over my face and even covered my eyes. She combed up a section in the very front, and after a few quick snips, I saw even more brown locks falling to the cape. She continued snipping the locks off toward the back of my head, and after she reached the back, she cut the hair around the edges next to where she had just clipped them off. Then she combed up a lock in the middle of my head, and at the front, she combed it up with her fingers. Snip, 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 snip. As I saw tiny pieces of my hair falling in front of my eyes, she continued picking up locks and snipping them let me try that again. She continued picking up locks and snipping them to her desire, all around the top of my head. "There we are," she said. "That's so much better." She rubbed her hands over my locks for a little while longer before picking up a fur brush and the blow dryer and began to dry my hair and blow the little cut locks away from my scalp. After a few minutes, Amiko shut off the dryer and set it back on the counter. She then began running her hands through my hair again, but I could tell she was putting in some sort of product into my hair so it would spike up. Amiko came back in front of me and did a few final more strokes with her fingers. Amiko came back in front of me and did a few final strokes of her fingers through the very front. She gave me another subdued smile and leaned in as she kissed me on my forehead and placed her hands on my shoulders and turned me back to face the mirror. My eyes opened wide at the shock of how short my hair was, and I felt tears beginning to start again. Because the sides of my hair were a half an inch at most, and the top was roughly an inch long. I tried to ask her why she had done this to me, but I couldn't make a sound because the gag was still inflated in my mouth. Amiko had a knowing smirk on her face as she watched my reactions unfolding. After a few moments, I felt the tears begin to stop, both because I had been crying so much during the whole haircut, and because I started to realize that this haircut really did suit me very well. The style was very short and severe, but it was still very feminine. "I knew you would like this haircut," Amiko said, as she began to unplug the gag in my mouth. It began to shrink, and Amiko pulled it out of my mouth and turned back and placed it in the sink. Then she picked up a small glass, filled it with water, and held it to my lips and tipped it in. My mouth was extremely dry, and the water felt amazing in my tongue and cheeks. "Time to finish you, pet," said Amiko, as she went back behind me again to unfasten the cape. She unfastened it and let it fall away from my neck. She then went to a different device that was sitting on the counter and opened the door at the front and pulled out a black towel that was letting off steam. She unfolded it and wrapped it around the back of my neck. I felt it might burn me for a second, but then it started to feel good. While the towel sat, she picked up a small mug and pulled a brush out of it. She then put it in front of a small device that looked like a dispenser underneath the towel steamer. A white fluid came out of the dispenser into the cup And when she thought there was enough, she placed the mug on the counter again and turned my face with the brush in her right hand. As she began to lightly brush my forehead and cheeks with the brush, she said, "Human hair does make the softest brush. Wouldn't you agree?" I had to agree that this was even softer than my own makeup brushes. Amiko put the brush into the mug and got some of the white lather on it. And after removing the towel, she brushed the lather onto my neck and picked up a single-bladed razor from the counter. I don't like throat cuts, but this single-bladed safety razor gives a very smooth finish, said Amiko, as she scraped the lather off my neck. After she removed the cape and hung it onto the wall, she picked up a hand mirror to show me the back. The cut was extremely well performed, and it blended together very well, all the way from the hairline up to the top. She then turned me back to face the door again. "Thank you, Amiko," I said, as she began to undo the straps and the belts that restrained me to the chair. "It looks so much better than I would have expected." "You will call me Mistress Amiko from now on, my pet," she said, as she began to unfasten the straps and the belts that restrained me to the barber chair. "Yes, Mistress Amiko," I said meekly, as she undid the last of the restraints. "Go on now," she said, after I was released, indicating the door with her hand. She gave me a silver card as I stood up from the chair. I took the card and walked through the door and out into the waiting room again. "Now, you will call me again after 8 weeks at the most and make an appointment for a fresh haircut," said Mistress Amiko as I walked to the front door. "Yes, Mistress Amiko," I said as I began to open the door and walk on to the sidewalk. I turned back to look at the door again, and I realized that I finally understood what the D and M actually meant, and it certainly wasn't the name of the owners. Kevin, that was a brilliant story. Thank you so much for allowing me to read it and share it with everybody. That was a lot of fun. Okay, so I will read comments. Let's see. And if I happen to miss a comment, just repost it after the video has been published and I will definitely respond to it. All right, let's see. Someone dressed like a secretary attire and it is gorgeous. Thank you. One of my Patreon members asked me. Let's see. Sathya, again, I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. He says, or she says, do a story time on a forced head shave. So I read stories that people send me. So if you happen to have written one and you want me to read it, yeah, just let me know. Just send it to me, indicating that you wrote it. And yeah, you give me permission to read it. John says, love the outfit, thank you. Let's see, Gopal says a haircut video in due time. Yeah, so with the pandemic, like things are getting better. Yeah, so fingers crossed that people will be more eager to, you know, get haircuts and things like that without masks. But I have to be patient. Let's see. I want to work with everybody's comfort level. Good morning, Southern gentlemen. Thank you for joining. Good morning, William. He says he loves this. Wonderful. Babu says, where is your husband? I'm waiting for the cross-dressing video. Yes, I will work on that today. I've been so busy working in the yard, and I started cleaning the garage. I was going to post up on my Patreon page about, yeah, my latest update. So I got some errands to run today. I will be editing some photos for Patreon. I will be working on that cross-dressing video today too. And then I want to tear down some stuff in the garage to try to figure out stuff. And then I'm trying to figure out if I can get plumbing in here. So we were knocking on walls earlier, trying to figure out where we can possibly have water. And there's some weird things in this garage. So I'm gonna have to get a screwdriver and pop some stuff off to see what's behind that wall. And what else? Yes, and I have to repair some wall because there's some water damage, which, yeah, I was surprised. The previous owners had a hose over here. I thought the water damage was from the hose. It is not. So I'll have to fix that. So I'll try to do a little bit of drywall repair myself. Learn a new skill. That's what I'll do. Okay, let's see. Okay, scrolling through comments. Hello, Christian. Thank you for joining. Good morning, Charles. Thank you for joining. DL Joey says, good day, Kat. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Thank you. I hope you do too. Charles says, is Princess Peach there? No, but the video will be coming. I will try to, you know what? I'll post it tomorrow. I will, that'll be my deadline. So I have to work on it. If I have to stay up until midnight, I will do that. I actually was up until midnight because I had a party last night. Let's see. Okay. Reading through comments. Let's see. Raul says, hi, Cats. I love you. I like your necktie and small collar shirt around your neck and 2 buttons. Oh, okay, you like this outfit. Thank you. Charles says, his sissy dress will be here tomorrow. Wonderful. You're gonna look fantastic. Have you given any thought like what you're gonna do for makeup? Are you going to like kind of go with the color scheme? Or are you gonna do something more wild? Love to hear that. So, let's see. Diego says, I'm wearing a suit tie myself today. Wonderful. Well, Diego, we matched today. Perfect. Kirk says, story time is good, Kat. But, you know, we all want to see his hair play. But thanks to Kevin, we all love to see Kat. Yeah, I did bring my brush so I can brush through my hair. Manny says, put on a long tie. Pretty much all of my ties are long ties because I'm short. Jonathan says, good afternoon, Kat. It's a hot UK today. Durkin says, let's see, were you ever approached by the certain industry? Because many bald models were approached in the early 2000s. I believe I was, but I don't think I was bald at the time. I had one producer, oh my goodness. Yeah, so, okay. So this is before the Me Too movement. I mean, I know things have changed, which is great. Things have changed for the better. But yeah, I actually had one producer who told me I wouldn't make it unless I actually slept with him. But yeah, that's crazy. And yeah, I've dealt with a lot of photographers who are like that. So yeah, so I was like, I don't need to be famous that badly. So yeah, I think pretty much all women get approached like that. It's just what we women live through on a nearly daily basis, which is kind of sad, but it's getting better, I hope. All right, let's see. Manny says put on a long tie. This tie is actually long. I made it short because I made it to have a big knot. So, otherwise it is a long tie. I can untie it in that in a little bit because I know Michael Jordan wants to see me. I think pop my collars and whatnot. Okay. Let's see. Chris says, I loved you for years, Kat. I'm 26, but just worked up the courage to get my shortest haircut ever last week. A short flat top. Ooh, I love flat tops. you probably look very divine. Let's see. Wish you could keep it tidy for me, your inspiration. Thank you. Yeah, I don't have skills in creating the flat tops and other sexy designs. Hopefully one day. I purchased a house, so the money I was going to use to go to cosmetology school, I had to get the house. So, poo. But I'll get there. Hopefully in a couple years, I can start saving my money again. Let's say, Birdman, when are you gonna start doing stuff to your hair again on YouTube Lives? I can do that next week. So, oh yeah, I think you had asked about honey and whipped cream. So yeah, I was trying to think of, I have one location in place. I don't know if they still have the outdoor showers or not. So I have to look. So we'll see. Because I thought about doing the honey and the shampoo at an outdoor shower. But I have to see if it still exists. Because I haven't seen it for probably a couple of years. Because I'm just not in that area. So I have to drive there and see if it still exists. Otherwise, I was going to see if I can use a friend's backyard. I have to do location scouting and such. So, or I need to find somebody who'd be willing to be like, Kat, you can use my backyard. All right, let's see. If I miss a comment, I apologize. Just repost it once this video is done. Of course, Gopal says, I want to see more head shaving videos. We'll see what I can do. Charles says, I just realized it's a lockable one. Oh, the outfit or the special device? Let's see. Trimaine says, I like your outfit. Thank you, Trimaine. Very sweet. Marcel says, hi, Kat. Nice pie video you posted a few days ago. Thank you. Let's see. Where are the French cuffs that I asked for in the last live? You have to remind me. So when the video has been posted, post your comment when the video has been posted. Then I'll see it, and then I can write it down because I don't have anything to write with, and I forget very easy. I receive so many requests. If you're a Patreon member, it's even easier. Just send me a message. Oh, the sissy dress is lockable. Ooh, zips and locks at the collar. Wow, Charles, you're gonna have so much fun. Jerkin, do you want me to edit something, photo? I will DM you after this live. And if I can do it, wait. Oh, okay, so you did the kiss video, or I was blowing the hair and you did that. But you can do Photoshop. Yeah, DM me and we'll, I know after this, I've got a bunch of things I've got to do. But I will get to you probably tomorrow. Charles says, will you take me out in it? Hey, if you're in Minnesota, and let me specify, like St. Paul or something. And if I can do like a YouTube video, oh yeah, girl, we'd go out to the gay 90s. That's so much fun. It's anytime if someone wants to dress as their true selves, I always suggest going to the gay 90s. They even have 18 plus nights for those who are 18, 19, 20, whatever. They have 18 plus nights, which is fantastic because I remember when I was younger, I was looking for clubs to go to, but I wasn't quite 21 yet. So there are a few, and I don't know if they're doing them just yet, but the foam parties are awesome. So I really enjoyed that. Let's see, Charles says, I'm so nervous, I need you to lock me in it. Birdman says, anyone ever cried cutting their hair short? Yes, I can't think of all their names right now. But yeah, there's been tears. I can't remember everybody, but yeah, I'd definitely say more than a handful. But they loved it afterwards. Oh, I had one gal who absolutely hated it. She was pissed at the barber. Oh my goodness. Yeah, not happy. I think that was Chelsea. She was pissed. And then, but yeah, there's other gals that did cry, tear up. One got drunk. No, two got drunk. Like afterwards, and one like in between shooting, and that was, oh my God. Yeah. Let's see. Durkin says, did a head shave model turn down the offer at the last moment or didn't show up because she feared having a shaved bald? Yes, we have models all the time. Cancel. Oh, I don't cancel. They just don't show. They get so nervous that they just don't show. And that happens a lot. So most of the times when I'd be working with James William, we would book at least 3 models, 4 models, and sometimes we'd get 1 or 2 show up and the other ones just don't. Let's see. Babu, waiting for your husband to crowd dress. Make the, to do the crowd dressing video. Yes, I'm gonna edit it. It will be published tomorrow. So look for it tomorrow. I will get it done today. I know I've been so busy with work and then trying to fix up the yard, fix up the house because I had a party last night and I wanted the house to look somewhat decent. Let's see. Durkin says, will you ever shave your hubby bald? Did I ever shave him? I don't remember. But yeah, he was shaved bald once. I think I did it. But yeah, he does not look good bald. No. And yeah, I won't go into details, but he doesn't have a good head shape for it. So he wasn't lucky in that aspect, but he does not look good bald. Let's see. Charles says the sissy dress is all pink with 8 layers of petticoats. Ooh, that sounds gorgeous. Oh, you're gonna have a lot of fun. Let's see. So Babu says, where is your husband? He's probably folding laundry. So that's his task while I'm with you. All right, Durkin says, you should directly try to razor a model, or I totally botched that. You should direct, okay, I know what you're trying to say, I just can't get it out of my mouth. Okay, so like they do in India for those head shaves, he says to use the razor. I'm guessing no shaving cream because I didn't really see them do that. They'll use water. And let's see. I don't know. Not all models like the razor. So we'll see. Charles says, can I hold the key for the padlock? I don't know where you're located, but yeah, if we had to do it via mail, you'd be wearing that dress for a long time. All right, so I'm scrolling through comments. If I miss a comment, I apologize. Just repost your comment after the video has been published. Right now it's just streaming. So let's see. Okay, I think I read everybody's comment, I hope. If I missed something, I'm sorry. Let's see, Babu says, give him a woman dress and wax his body. I don't know if you would agree to the waxing, but I did shave like his legs. So I shaved from like here to, I think, his knee with the straight edge razor. All right, no, when I come to St. Paul, yes, I can hold it when you come to St. Paul, and then when we go out, yes, of course, I would get the key. So that way you can't get out of it, no matter where we go. You've got to show off your gorgeous self. You're perfect just the way you are. And we want everybody to know how beautiful you are. All right, let's see. Manny says, why don't you take, oh, okay, yes, okay, so let's see. All right, so I'm supposed to pop the collar, if I remember correctly. So do that. And then I think I'm supposed to loosen it. So Michael Jordan, if you're still on, let me know if I'm doing this correctly. Oh, and then I think. See if I can move from the barber chair. It's dusty in here. I'm gonna have to clean better. Okay, let's see. And then I think someone said to take it off and they want to see the long tie. Okay, someone asked my WhatsApp number. I don't use WhatsApp. I'm old. Let's see, Durkin says, no, what I'm telling you is don't cut hair short. Don't cut it at all. Wet the long hair and use a razor. Wait. Wet the hair long, and use a razor. Okay. Sorry. YouTube is like making my comments like disappear when I'm trying to read them. Okay, so Durkin says, no, what I'm telling you is don't cut hair short. Don't cut it at all. Wet the long hair and use a razor. If it doesn't work, you can use a clippers. Yes, I got that. Just like with my husband's very long hair on his legs, I just used a razor. I did not clipper it beforehand. Okay. For those who love pop collar, there you go. Okay, and then I'll put the tie back on in a second. Charles, can we go to a bridal shop in my sissy in my sissy dress? Oh my goodness, I haven't gotten married. I don't know where those places are. Let's see. Michael Jordan, can you put the tie on again with the long tie? Did I say that right? Tie style. Oh my goodness. Marcel says, I hope your Fitbit is still okay after lots of showers and pie videos. Yes, it still works. There we are. Yeah, I've only got this many steps in right now. I need to get more steps in. Take you to Hooters, Charles says. I don't know if, I don't know. I know there's a Hooters in the Mall of America, but I haven't been there in forever. Let's see. Durkin says, you look stunning. Can you come ahead and give me a kiss for me and my wife? We are both fans. Aw. One for each one of you. Let's see. Charmaine says, I love your button-down shirts. Put the tie on. Okay, let's see. Okay, there's something about farting. For those who like fart jokes, which South Park is full of them. Let's see. The only thing I hate most about head shaves with a clipper is that they take time, and when I'm in the chair, it's like I'm about to fart all the time. Does this happen to anybody else too? You could just have a very nervous okay. You could just have, when you get nervous, things like that happen. But I'm sure you're not the only one. I'm sure that happens to other people too. Okay, let's see. Good evening, Phil. Thank you for joining. I'm going to be leaving here pretty quick here. Let's see. Durkin says, please take the leg up again. I can. Oh, okay. So, all right, let me see. So lift my legs up. Okay, so like that. I don't know. Sorry. I probably missed some key information here and that I missed something. Babu says, I think your hubby is like a girl. There's probably a reason why I'm with him. All right, you look stunning. Can you come ahead, give me a kiss? Oh, no, I did that. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna scroll through real quick to make sure I haven't missed anybody. If I do, I apologize. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think I've got everybody. Okay, let me see. Oh, my tie fell. Okay, I'm gonna grab that. What kind of dresses do you put on your husband? Love seeing you do dressing him up in dresses. Oh my goodness, I can read that story. And I read it through without reading it prior. And I can read it pretty good. I'm trying to read comments and I obviously can't. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, shoot. My tie is dusty. Okay. Okay, so I will do, oh shoot. I'll do the long tie. Full Windsor knot, of course. Let's see, Charles says, just got it delivered. Ooh, that is a wonderful Sunday gift. And I'm gonna go drink some tea after this. My voice is has gotten a workout today. All right, Durkin says, my wife's question, do you pay models more when they clothe less? No, I tend to have models actually put clothes on. So do the more conservative styles. Oh, I botched this one. I'm not happy how this turned out. Let me see. Maybe it's just, oh, yes. All right, let's do that. Oh, yes, I'm redoing this. I'm not happy how this turned out. 1 second. So someone is asking if I prefer my husband as a girl or something. I'm not quite sure. Sorry, I can only see half the the message. Okay, let me do this. Try this one more time. I'm happy with how my husband is. So he's a bit femmy, which I like. I am bi, if you didn't already know that. So it's kind of like having, you know, both sometimes, in a way. It's not exactly the same, but works for me and it works for him. So, all right, yay. This is looking much better. Feels better. Got a nice strong knot there. Okay, perfect, good. Make this nice and tight. I'm gonna cheat. Okay, so there is my long tie. Very stiff collar. Make sure it's nice and snug. It is. So there we are. Now generally, I would tuck this in. There we go. Lovely. All right, so we have a few more comments and then my time is up. Let's see. Okay, get your legs on the arms of the chair. I will take an SS and send you after. Okay, put the legs on the... All right. Trimaine says, is your outfit Instagram picture? I will, I'll be putting some photos eventually. I'll choose a photo and put it on my Instagram soon. Here, so you can see me. Probably need to see me like this. All right, let's... Oh my goodness. Ah. Let's see. Ah, shoot. Coming apart. not an easy way to do this. There we go. Okay, it just got dirty. I thought I ripped my shirt. All right, so any other comments? Please roll up my sleeves once. Yes, I'll do that really quick. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, this shirt is very, very stiff. How's that? All right, Durgan says, off to editing. I'll be on your Insta DMs in 3 minutes. Thank you. All right, so I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Yeah. Oh, let's see. Okay. I think I got everybody. I'm starting to lose my voice again. So I'm gonna end it here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I had a lot of fun. Again, that was Kevin's story I read. I will be posting a link to his other fantastic stories into the video description soon, once the video has been posted. If you are curious about wanting to read them right now, go see last week's YouTube Live. There is a link to his stories already in that one, and I read his story last week. If you want to send me a story that you wrote for me to read, yeah, you can email me, catsurth@gmail.com. Again, you have to have written it because I don't want to get anybody angry if I read their story if it doesn't belong. You know, I have to get permission. So it's always really important if you are going to do something with somebody's work, because they put a lot of time and effort into it, to get their permission anytime before posting anything. Yeah, I think that's about it. Have a fantastic weekend or Sunday night or whenever you're watching this. Have a fantastic week. If you are US based, I hope you're having a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Of course, remember those who have fallen. That's the real reason for today. Well, tomorrow. That's because, well, the weekend, whatever. Yeah, I think that's it. So stay safe, have fun. I won't be doing a YouTube Live next Sunday because it's my birthday. Yeah, June 6th. I think next Sunday is June 6th, and that's my birthday. So I will be out with family all day. So I will probably do something Saturday, I think. Yeah, probably then. I'll figure out a time. I have to schedule things, and I think I'm gonna host another party. I'll figure it out. But yeah, have a fantastic week. Thank you for joining me. I had so much fun with you, and I will see you next time. Bye.